Le shebile Raising Babies 101. Ga re shebeng gore le ka expecta eng mo show ya gompieno. First up, re bua ka go anyisa ngwana in public. It's a big topic. Then from there, re bua ka bomme, anxieties and poop stools or poop. Khantele re kana mo easy peasy and ke le bontsha gore le itukisa jwang ha le tlo fofa le ngwana. Ke a le dumedisa kaofela go ga lebitso la ka ke Carol Ofori and le shebile Raising Babies 101, the Infants Edition. Although the value of breastfeeding is well understood, there are many barriers that can make it very difficult for bomme to start and continue go anyisa ngwana. Bomme ba bangata are forced to use public bathrooms to feed their children to avoid being chased out of public spaces. Many mothers have been asked to stop breastfeeding or leave such situations, and it makes women feel embarrassed and fearful of being stigmatized by people around them when they are breastfeeding. To unpack this issue, re dula fatshe le busisiwe Mafenteli from the Gauteng Breastfeeding Forum, an organization representing groups and individuals who are committed and motivated to promote and support breastfeeding in the Gauteng province. Dumela Sisi.
Dumela Sis Carol.
Le kae? Ding. Ha re thome ka bua ka breastfeeding in public ne. Ke eng di benefits first of all tsa go anyisa ngwana?
Okay, there's so many benefits out there. There are benefits for a baby and gonna benefits for mama and for community and the family as well. So if you can start with the child will get all the nutrients, vitamins, the minerals, and then it will strengthen the immune system. Akhule healthy, catch illnesses, no infection easily.
Right.
And then yehlisa chances of angafumani allergies.
Okay.
Akhule healthy. And then it benefits to, and also for brain development, growth. To the mother also benefits the chances of having breast cancer, and then also the anxiety levels as well, and stress, because there are hormones is involved during breastfeeding. By a bond and then to the community and the family, but it's available anytime we phone now. It's a temperature right as well.
Yanong ha re bue ka go anyisa in public. Ke a itse gore basadi ba bangata ngwana o tshwere ke tlala o tshwentse o mo jese, and it can happen anywhere. O tla bo o le ko dishopong, o le ko restauranteng. Is it legal for breastfeeder in public? Ha re thome mo.
Yeah, it is legal. It's even in our constitution. It says a child has a right to food, une right to pila, une right to health. So if you offended ufuma ya breastfeeder, then you're violating your rights zomdan.
A lot of people in public gay exposure, indecent exposure, for example. And how we see fela gore bona letswele la ka ha o jesa ngwana. So what does Mulao say about it? Because we know that Mulao, it says the child has right ya go ja, mara Mulao e reng ka go ntsha letswele in public.
There's nothing. People go around, get the crop tops, it's allowed. Then why is it not allowed now if so it's just that as a community, they need information. So as a mother, if someone is offended, I would ask, why are you offended? What makes you uncomfortable when I'm feeding my baby? And then try to understand that person or offended, and then advise accordingly. Otherwise, it should be normal. It should be normal in the way breastfeeder in public. Because we eat in public. I don't get covered up if we will whatever.
Exactly.
Then why mama mela go public bathrooms to feed her child?
Hi, busisiwe ke leboga bathong that you've come here. It's right. Your child is allowed to have breast milk in public. By law, the child is entitled.
It's in our constitution.
It's in our constitution.
Thank you, Carol.
Go anyisa ngwana is a human rights issue for me le ngwana and should be protected and promoted for the benefit of both me le ngwana gage. Let's go anyway. Rabua gape mo Raising Babies 101.
The society gives women a problem when it comes to breastfeeding in public, simply because they find it not to be a norm. You understand? So what they portray is when you breastfeed, you must breastfeed at home. when you go out, you must have milk for a baby. Do you understand? Because, you know, with these societal changes and whatnot, and everything that is happening, like rape and whatnot, so they find it to be a bit strange, because even males might have this thing of wanting to look at the woman while they breastfeed, which might make the woman not feel comfortable and whatnot.
In Africa, we've been doing this all the time. I think black people are trying to incorporate the Western culture a lot in Africa. And that is what's causing people to come to that kind of thinking, to say black women shouldn't be, not black women, but women shouldn't be breastfeeding in public. But we've been doing this in Africa all this time. Why this sudden change?
Normally, back then, so batho ba selong bana ba na le ntho e re gale e re tshwenya go batho ba bomme ha ba tlameha go tsamaya strateng tshwantse ba dule ka tlong, which is wrong ka baneng a ke re le ngwana hanyana botlolo wa mnyantsha hohle le wena as a person ha o lapile wa ja hohle ngwana o ke dijo tsa haetse tshwantse ba e normalize, it should be normal for them. But understand no ngwana wa jeswa everywhere.
Anybody who gives you that excuse that seeing a woman breastfeeding in public contributes to rape, I think that's nonsense.
To be honest with you, there's nothing that can be changed because moto already since I decided to so if we decide to we decide to either way, government can force it or anyone else.
I mean, you cannot tell the child, stop crying, I won't breastfeed you right now. We're in public. When the child wants milk, the child wants milk and wants to be breastfed, there's nothing you can do. So you have to do what you have to do.
If need be, if government they would. But enough for my own. For or wherever, because it's a free country after all.
Raising Babies 101 Infants Edition. Your newborn baby's bowel movements, also called stools. The stools can come in many different colors and textures, all of which may be perfectly normal for your child. As your baby grows and begins eating solid foods, you may notice changes in your baby's stool. Your newborn soiled diapers can give you clues about your baby's health. Zethu, a mother of a little one, and here big dilemma ya gage re na le clinical nurse specialist Gift Nkosi. Welcome to you both.
Thanks for having us.
So Zethu, kopa re tlhalosetse ke eng big dilemma ya gago?
Okay, so the big dilemma in Nayo, I recently took my daughter to the hospital because ubene diarrhea, and I didn't know this because I thought everything would be normal. So I need to know from a gift ukuthi yini kahle kahle kumele ngibheke ukuthi ngazi ukuthi okay akusahambi kahle within the digestive system of ingane. Do I need to look at the stool color, how which should it be, and amanapkena ingaki ngosuku. So I need to know lokho.
Gifts warenkatabai.
Okay. Ngiyabonga zethu umbuzo obalekile loyo singabazali ukuthi siyazi ukuthi kumele siwahlole siwabheke uthuvi labantwana bethu ngoba umntana nakasanda kuzalwa silindele ukuthi akhiphe uthuvi oluthanda ukuba mnyamanyana. Lokhu kusibonisa ukuthi i-system yakhe yokudigest umntana uthi iyasebenza. And then after day 3, you should see a change in the color of stools.
So I'm not sure how many months is
7 months now.
7 months. So 7 months, are you expecting to see black stool yangwana at 7 months as marcomium? No. So 7 months, what are the problem?
There could be a problem. Sometimes there's nothing to really worry about. If maybe you know that your baby is on an iron supplement, that could be a sign that your baby is got a high iron intake as well.
So we work stools tsa diarrhea. The stools tsa diarrhea tsa ngwana wa 7 months, di a bontsha in color kapo its consistency ya bone?
It's the texture and the consistency. So it diarrhea vele ngoba siyazi ukuthi uthuvo lumanzi. So that's not what we want to see. What we want to see is we want to see yellowish custody. Even the texture must be custody or mushy, if I can say.
Like pasty.
Yes. Then it should be yellow and soft. That's our normal breastfed baby's stool that we consider as normal. And then formula-fed babies, it would be a dark green sort of stool that you'll see. There are colors that we don't want to see now. Is we don't want to see redness in our baby stools as parents. It could be blood, or you can also be detective mom, and find out what your baby was eating, because the reddish colors could be from
eating. For example, maybe 7 months mufa beetroot or something like that.
That's correct. Yes. And then you don't want to see a whitish chalky color in your baby's stool. That's a sign for immediate attention. You need to go to your healthcare facility immediately, whether it's your clinic or hospital, where you will be attended to, because it shows a problem with maybe the baby's liver. To the mothers at home that are breastfeeding their babies, when you get a bright green, it means your baby is not feeding correctly. Maybe the attachment, the positioning. Mommy needs to go to the clinic, primary healthcare facility, to be trained by the antenatal clinic nurses or even the midwives on how to breastfeed your baby correctly.
Okay. Yanong kopa mo fe advice gore a ka etsang for go bofega mala, the constipation, a ka thusa ngwana gage, not the constipation, pardon, the diarrhea, ha ngwana a ntsa tsholla. What advice do you have for that?
Okay, the advice we have is a rehydration solution, which can also be made at home, whereby you use a mixture of salt, sugar, and water. After every loose stool, you replace the lost fluids. But also the diarrhea is a need for concern. Then you need to also go to your healthcare facility.
Okay.
Healthcare
for how long must diarrhea ya teng etsagale for you to say gore okay ke nako ya go isa ngwana ko ngakeng?
The diarrhea must be persistent.
So over how many days?
Also accompanied by vomiting.
Okay.
Yes, as parents.
So after 3 days, you can wait after 3 days, it's still fine?
No,
or
that's
immediate?
too much. A baby loses a huge amount of fluids.
So 1 day, 2 days, at what point do you see?
You, as a mother, you need to be recording how many times your baby normally poos. When it's a newborn, it's like 1 to 8 times a week passing of stools. But now the older babies, you get to learn their program when you're recording as to how many times do they go, and you'll figure out what is normal and what is too much for the baby to be passing. So the baby needs not to pass a lot, because they will lose a lot of fluids and electrolytes.
So, Zet, big dilemma ya gago.
Thank you so much, Gift.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gift. I think the biggest thing I can killing from conversation ya rona ke gore ha o change le leiri la ngwana. It's important gore I know sometimes it can get really bad, but the point is how bula le leiri leo o shebe gore what is coming out from the baby, because it tla go tlhalosetsa gore ngwana how is the body doing, if there's anything ailing phoso mo ngwaneng o ka bona through the stool stubborn. So ke a leboga Zeti for potso ya gago, and of course ke a leboga Gift gore tlhalosetsa the different colors le gore di mina eng. Ra leboga.
It was great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you Zeti.
Thank you so much.
In infants, age, diet, and health are the main reasons for changes in stool color. Otherwise, a wide range of colors is to be expected. Anyone who suspects a baby has diarrhea or constipation should seek medical advice from a professional. Se se latelang ke decoding A to Z. Re sheba C for congenital cytomegalovirus, CMV. Congenital cytomegalovirus is a condition that can occur when an infant is infected with a virus called cytomegalovirus, CMV, before birth. Congenital means the condition is present at birth. A pregnant woman can pass CMV to her unborn baby. The virus in the woman's blood can cross through the placenta and infect the baby. This can happen when a pregnant woman is infected with CMV for the first time or is infected with CMV again during pregnancy. Most people with CMV infection have no symptoms and aren't aware that they have been infected. For babies with signs of congenital CMV infection at birth, antiviral medications, primarily Valga and Ciclovir, may improve hearing and developmental outcomes. You can see yourself winning a wonderful 200 Rand shopping voucher at a very exclusive baby retailer. You want to win, Wabotsa? Very, very easy. Arabafela potso ena. Is breastfeeding a human right? Answer yes or no. Go Facebook page Jarona, and who knows, you could be a winner. Khariboa, rekana ka fo gare ga easy peasy. Re go bontsha gore o fofa jwang le ngwana gago. Stay right there. Raising Babies 101. If you've just joined us, we're about to give you some tips on how to fly le ngwana gago. There's no need to pack dozens and dozens of gifts mo diaper bag ya gago. Travel and parenting experts recommend other strategies to increase your chances of a smooth flight with your baby. You will need a bag go paka dilo tsa gago le tsa ngwana go fofa. You'll also need diaparo tsa go change. Ka ra itse gore bana ba itshenya, maybe there's a mistake or whatever happens, o tla gona go change ngwana gago. Also, make sure o na le kobo because flights can get very cold. So make sure o tshwere kobo for ngwana gago. Also, o ska lebala gore o tlhoka malairi, le balm cream, as well as petroleum jelly, as well as di wipe tsa gago for changing times if baby has a boo-boo. And then le ska lebala if you are formula feeding bana ba gago ska lebala lebese la bone, and if you are breastfeeding, of course you know what to do. And then have your bottles on hand as well for your formula fed babies gore o kgone go kenya formula ya gago, le metsi for bana ba bagolonyana o ka ba fa metsi as well, especially ha flight ya go godimo kapo e thoga ditsebe tsa bone di ya kwalega. So how ka ba fa something ya go nwa e tla ba thusa ka re ba thoma go lla because of the pain le pressure ka mogare ga ditsebe. Also have the treats for bone. Older babies o ka ba fa the little treats, le di snacks. Ba banyane o ka ba fa dijo tsa bone, make sure o na le dijo tsa bone, as well as a spoon go ba jesa, and then le di toys. Very important le di toys, especially for ba bagolonyana, because it keeps them entertained, and ha ba na le di toys ba lebala gore ba ko moyeng. And make sure una le sling sa gago sa go kuka ngwana. So o ka berekisa sling kapo o ka berekisa kobo, depending on whichever way o rata go kuka ngwana gago. If you have a stroller kapo pram, e tla le yone all the way to the gate of the actual plane, because ha o fitla mo ba tla eng ka pram ya gago ba go beele yone. Ha o fologa ba tla e beya for wena, so that when you come off the plane it's easy peasy. O kenya ngwana mo gare ga pram ya gago and off you go. So it's that easy. The best thing about packing go tsamaya le ngwana ke go planner. Please plan o shebe gore ngwana gago o tlhoka eng. If you need to make notes gore o ska lebala anything. There's nothing worse than having a baby crying and you know o lebetse dami ko gae kapo pacifier ko gae. Make sure you have all those things your child needs on hand. Babon go easy peasy go paka le go fofa le ngwana gago. Dumelang le shebile Raising Babies 101 ke nako ya Yummy Mommy, and Yummy Mommy wa rona today ke chemical engineer and blogger Lebogang Xolo. Welcome Lebogang.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you. Ko para tlhalosetse, what is it like for you being a mom? Phela chemical engineer and blogger. That's quite hectic. Ara tlhalosetse, what's it like?
You know, it's one of the most challenging right positions as especially to balance as a mom, you know, having a career and also at the same time raising 2 kids. But what's most important is finding balance in your life, you know. Yeah, having the right support. How you know, that's extremely helpful towards your growth as a woman.
Absolutely. Earlier mo episode on ena re ra bua ka go anyisa ngwana in public. Wena we la anyisa ngwana in public, or what are your feelings ka yone taba e?
Yes, I have, and honestly, I'm very pro. Ke feel gore ngwana comes above anything. You know, why is it rona re khona go ja in public, but kids are not allowed to, babies are not allowed to? It's the most natural thing, and I feel that it should be that way. There shouldn't be anything uncomfortable about that.
And then obviously highly now ya go ya di holidaying, sometimes onka aeroplane la fofa o letsa malebana. Ko pa re tlhalosetse wena how o itukisetsa go tsamaya le ngwana re ile ra etsa mo easy peasy, mare ke batla go itse mo go wena gore how o itukisetsa go fofa le ngwana gago o prepare jwa.
You know, traveling as simple ali 6 months, and it's because our in-laws are in Durban, but also we just wanted to introduce them to get used to flying, you know, at a very young age.
You had postnatal depression afterwards. Even you were very anxious. How no Emile? How will you learn a bit about that time?
Okay, so I actually had postnatal depression with my second. You know, amazingly, with my first, everything was a breeze. With my second, I had a loss prior to my son. So a year later, I conceived. So obviously, I was a bit anxious, but I didn't realize, you know, I was just very OCD at the time. You know, I was extremely making sure that everything is fine, trying to be in control of the situation. And I realized now, years later, that I was actually trying to control not to lose him. You know, and that stemmed from there. After his birth, I could not sleep. You know, when they say you're trying to act like God, you know, looking at him, trying to make sure that he's breathing, I was extremely anxious to a point that there was a time I didn't sleep for 48 hours. My husband had to rush me to a psychiatrist. And it's then that we knew that I had postnatal depression, you know, especially anxiety. So I had to deal with it. It was a very long journey. But, you know, I suppose right now I look back and I'm like, I went through one of the hardest things, especially as a black woman, because we don't talk about it. Your postnatal depression, you don't hear that. It's just, you have to, you know, we are strong women. You know, but I think I made it my journey, and I wanted to share with everyone to make them know it's possible and you can get through it. Amazingly, you can thrive, you can be an amazing mother even after postnatal depression, regardless of, you know, what degree you had it, and you thrive as a mom.
Oh, the beauty of motherhood. Hey, thank you so much, Lebogang, for coming about your journey and the tips of how to do it the way you've been doing it. All the best. Chemical engineering, blogging, everything, all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For watching Raising Babies, and of course a big thank you to all my guests that came on the show. Check us out on Facebook. Before remember, for me, Carol Ofori, I'll catch you again next time. Goodbye.